1923. Season 2 finally saw some sunlight as Episode 4 got some genuinely good news that would enlighten our spirit. However, do not be fooled. The upcoming episode will return the show to its original ways with a lot of tragedy, drama, and of course tears. So, let's talk about it. I believe it would be better to talk about the good news first. For instance, after all these episodes, Zane is finally well and recovering with his family. Now that he's okay though, the focus is shifting toward revenge. There's going to be a major showdown at the Dutton Ranch in Episode 5, and even Elizabeth is gearing up for battle. Do you remember Kara holding the riffle in the trailer and saying, "After all the things that I had to do for this ranch, this one takes the cake"? Well, that scene is from Episode 5, so you can get a glimpse of what to expect. And speaking of Elizabeth, as predicted, she's pregnant again. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm very much happy to see her shining once again. But now, the big question is whether the baby will survive. After everything Elizabeth has endured, I don't even want to think about yet another loss of a baby. I don't think she can handle this, neither physically nor emotionally. And yet, I can't help but question, who will be the grandmother of John Dutton? Like, both Alexandra and Elizabeth are pregnant right now, and we know that one of them gave birth to the modern-day Dutton patriarchs. But which one? Like, can you imagine both giving birth at the end of Season 2? There is no way that both women and both babies survive. Because we talk about Taylor Sheridan here. We know that he loves tragedy, and 1923 is yet to see its biggest tragedy. Either way, I cross my fingers to see both women in the Dutton Ranch with their babies. But a part of me feels like this would be too good to be true. But let me know what you think. Now, let's talk about Spencer. His storyline took another interesting turn this week. He crossed paths with the Italians again. Luckily, it was a short encounter this time, and Spencer managed to avoid getting caught up in the fight between the Mafia and the Federals. But is anyone else getting a little tired of Spencer constantly running from something? It's starting to feel like Sheridan's using Spencer's story to explore American history more than anything else, as even the Temperance Society made a presence in his storyline. He saved an S-worker from the hands of this group, which may felt a bit out of place, but I feel like this is setting up what's to come with Donald. Spencer isn't just going to kill Donald, he's going to expose all of Donald's dark secrets and save the women under his control. So it matters to see Spencer's point on S-workers and their rights in the society. Next episode, Spencer is finally going to meet Marshal Mammy Fawcett, who will play a key role in leading him to Montana, which will also connect to Tiana's story. Tiana finally made it to the 4-6's ranch, and for a moment, it felt like she could finally breathe. The cowboys welcomed her with open arms, and she actually seemed happy, which hasn't happened in a while. But peace never lasts long in this world. Now that her face is plastered everywhere, she's officially a wanted person. With Mammy, Kent, and that awful priest all after her, things are about to get even more dangerous. It's about time Spencer and Tiana's paths crossed, because we all know Spencer is going to be the one to save her. In fact, do not be shocked to see the duo traveling together to Montana to save Tiana from the charges. Now, on to the worst person in the show, Donald, and his sinister plans. He sold the idea of a ski vacation to investors, and now he is looking to take over the Dutton Ranch. Next episode, Banner is going to start putting Donald's plan into action by eliminating any threats standing in his way, and Spencer is threat number 1. Remember that telegraph Spencer sent to Montana way back in Episode 1? Well, it's finally going to arrive, but it'll fall into the wrong hands. Banner will get his hands on it and immediately start investigating Spencer. Once he realizes who Spencer is and what his arrival could mean for the Duttons, he's going to panic. But here's the problem. Banner is basically Donald's puppet at this point, so despite his regret, he will face dire consequences inevitably. In fact, do not be surprised if Banner would become the first Dutton victim to be buried at the train station. That's all I'm going to say on it. Meanwhile, Alexandra is completely broken. She's been beaten up and all her belongings have been stolen. I knew this was coming, but watching it happen was brutal. She's gone from being a duchess to someone people look down on. After that humiliating immigration process, this is the second time Alexandra has been completely stripped of her dignity in America. And it was a tough watch for sure. Next episode, Alexandra is going to face her worst train ride yet. She's let her wagon mate know that she has nothing left, which might protect her from thieves, but it also makes her vulnerable. With no money and no resources, she's going to get desperate. And that's what scares me the most. Every time I think what worse could happen to her, things get even worse than I imagine. But we will see. For more weekly updates on 1923, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.